Call to order and determination of a quorum. We have 6 of our 7 members in attendance. I want to thank all y'all for being here.
Want to count that again?
6 of 7. He's coming up here.
Oh, he's coming up. Oh, there's Claude. Okay, I didn't see Claude.
I'm clairvoyant. Okay. Do we have Ray Funny representing the county and Janet Combs representing the county, and is Timothy Britt on scene? I don't see him. He's not. Okay. We have Sammy Grayson, Jimmy Green, Wesley Hooks, Glenn Inslee, and Tom Marchant, myself. We have 6 or 7, so we have a quorum. Call to order. One second. Let's see your friend.
Hey, Claude, how are you, man?
You got all your stuff right there. This is public comments. Are there any comments that need to be brought to the attention of the committee? Mr. Funny?
No, sir, we don't have any comments at this time.
No, sir, we do not.
I don't have you on.
She said no.
Take it. No, sir, we don't have any comments.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we are here to approve or review and approve, if it's the intent of the committee, the Georgetown County Transportation Plan, which is this particular document, and it's in draft form. I think everybody on the committee has been provided a copy in advance. Does anyone on the committee not have a copy? So be it. Then what we will do is we will entertain a motion to adopt the county transportation plan as submitted, which is this item, and you should have gotten a copy in advance.
Tom, there are a couple comments. I've got a question I'd like to ask. Surprise, Ray, right?
No, sir, I'm not surprised at all.
The thing I'm confused by, and I'd like to understand a little bit, is in several places there are references to road projects and other transportation projects. And I'm concerned about, there's an awful lot of superfluous stuff in this plan, like the whole front page with the overview talking about canoe trips and the rest of the stuff. And I mean, do you envision at some point that we need to, my concern is that people will, if they read this and say other transportation projects, it will be like the meeting we had when people wanted to come in and talk about bus routes or the Sandy Isle Ferry or whatever. So is there a reason why we can't narrow the focus down to road projects?
No, sir, any transportation-related project would be qualifying. For instance, in the roadway, you have a paving of a road, but you also have potentially a drainage system along the roadway that may need to be improved because it failed, and you want to support that initiative.
So we could get at it by saying roadway and related projects, so directly related, something of that nature?
Yes, sir. I mean, but anything I think that the law provides for transportation-related projects, you know. So if this committee feels that roads and drainage is the only thing that you want to do, I guess we can put it in the plan.
Is there a reason why is this thing used for some kind of public relations? Why are we wasting money on color pictures and all of that kind of stuff?
We want to make a good impression to you, sir, today. That was the intent. However, if the committee wants us to make it simple and just with the simple facts, we can go back and redo it, sir.
I just think if we just take out some of the fluff stuff, would be everything else. I mean, the meat is fine. It's all the fluff, just get rid of the pictures and the overview description of Georgetown County. I mean,
If there's no objection, I would request that Mr. Inslee and Mr. Funny convene for the purpose of narrowing the scope of the document. Is there any objection to that?
None. That being said, what I'd like to do is move the acceptance of the technical and definitional aspects of the plan, so that we don't have to reconvene. What we can do is clean up some of the verbiage and narrow it down to a couple of pages of the real stuff.
If there's no objection, I would direct Mr. Inslee and Mr. Funny to accomplish that goal and then distribute the product after it's been finished to all the members without having to reconvene. If there's no objection, it's ordered.
Mr. Chair,
Having moved it, you want to vote for that then, and then have a second and vote? Oh, okay, you got it, all right.
I just want to get clarity on where we are now. We are going to revise the document and redistribute it for review, and then come back at a later time and approve it?
I don't think we need to reconvene. I think the consensus of the committee is to do what Mr. Inslee has outlined in conjunction with yourself.
What I was trying to accomplish is approve the intent of the plan and just deal with the cosmetics of the plan offline.
Yeah, we can do that, sir, but I don't want to remove anything that may be important to another committee member.
Okay.
And so I would rather
Okay.
for us to review and revise the document, give it back to you, let you review one more time, then you can certainly have that done, and by September we'll have it completed.
Yeah.
If I may interject, I'm Janet Combs. I just want to mention that what you may term as the fluff of this document is sometimes the historical context, Georgetown, where it's situated geographically, and while that may not seem, germane to the nuts and bolts of a transportation plan, it does provide a person who's not familiar with Georgetown County an idea of, geographically where we are, what kinds of, the huge impact of tourism here, various things like that help frame Georgetown County to the person who's unfamiliar with it. And that's why it's in there.
Are there not a myriad of other places where they could get that information?
They certainly could, but as far as it being in color and so forth, this just goes on record. It doesn't get distributed. It's electronic. Copies are disseminated electronically, so there's essentially no it's a digital.
My goal is to have a person be able to understand how it works in 3 pages,
Oh, in 3 pages.
Sir,
not 10 pages.
yes, sir, we'll make the changes and.
We'll work on it.
Let's move on there.
It's the Georgetown County CTC bylaws. You have a draft in front of you. It's a legal size sheet printed front and back on page 1 and printed on the face page on page 2. I hope everybody's had an opportunity to read these.
The one amendment that I would propose to the committee is item number 6, no member shall receive compensation for his or her services. Other counties do, in fact, pay members of the committee for their time and effort. I can envision a circumstance for making Janet's life easier where we might ask people that don't currently have an email account to acquire an email account, and this would be an opportunity that would provide an opportunity for the committee to pay for that, so it wasn't an issue for the individual. Or they may be asked to go to a meeting off-site or do some other things where someone might be conceived as being compensation. So I don't know that we had it there before, but while we have the chance to change it, it seems like it makes sense to just stay moot on that and not address the compensation issue directly. I don't know, how's everybody else feel about that?
You have a comment?
If a member has experienced some expenses relative to this work, they can be reimbursed for those expenses. If they are going to Columbia for a meeting or something special, this commission has the authority to do that. And the idea of not having compensation, I guess this was intended to be paying one of you for being here today, paying you $25, for instance, to be here. That was the intent, is not for it to be.
Is it not the case that Ori pays their members $100 a meeting?
Well, we are proposing that we don't do that in Georgetown.
And I'm suggesting we leave it out, but it's up to the other members how they feel.
Right.
Reason that we should not strike that provision in its entirety. Without objection, it's stricken. The question is to adopt the draft minus section 5.
6.
It's at the front on page 1, back on page 1, and front on page 2. I hope everybody's had an opportunity to review these. It's been very artfully crafted by our staff. It's been very artfully crafted by our staff. So I will take a motion that we adopt the draft of the bylaws as amended by striking section 5.
I think it's 6.
Excuse me, section 6. The motion is to adopt the bylaws in the draft on page 1 and 2 and page 3 by striking section 6. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it,
Aye.
so ordered. Okay, thank you. Okay, that brings us down to item number Roman numeral 4. Does anybody have a question as far as that is concerned? We have been asked to reimburse or underwrite $5,000 in expenses or cost for our administrative support person, which is Ms. Combs, and that would be paid on an annual basis. Is that correct, Mr. Funny? Okay. Anybody have a question as to how that is currently being done? We don't have anybody on our payroll, and what we've been doing is trying to get the admin person for the legislative delegation and the coroner to give us some help, and I think, frankly, and I've met with her several times, I've given her my voluminous notebook of notes and rules and regulations, and I think it's overwhelming for her to try to take the coroner's job and the legislative delegation job and then thumbtack us on the back end of it. So the request is to an amount of $5,000 per year applied toward the administrative support fee person who works for Mr. Funny. Any questions, any discussion? Being none,
I'd move the,
Mr. Inslee moves the adoption. Is there a second? Second. There's a second. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed,
Aye.
no. Ayes have it, and so ordered. New business, SCDOT's annual market area contract. Ray, is that going to be something you're going to talk to us about?
Mr. Chair, I can, but I think Mr. Inslee wants to have some discussions among the members about the process that we are proposing for this coming January.
thank you, Ray. I've asked that we have it on it. My goal is just to get it into the public record. We discussed what the benefit to us when we approved our consultant's contract was, one, getting help at being self-administered, getting out from under the $66,000 a year. And the other piece was to get into these bulk contracts where we can get a better price than if we go out one contract at a time. So what I wanted to get into the public record is that will change a little bit the way we go about approving projects, in that, as in the bylaws and the plan, we reference having all of the local requests in by April 1 and all the state programs in by November 1, at which point we'll, among us, decide which ones we want to approve, and they will go in bulk to Columbia, and then hopefully be put into a bulk market area contract, and therefore we'll get better results. So it's important for the different city councilmen and county councilmen to understand that if they come in February and they have a project that they would really like to have something done about, our process means that won't actually get done until the end of that year. So just trying to manage expectations. Mr. Funny, is there anything else that we should add to that?
No, sir, I think you covered it pretty well. Is that simply have one time of the year, the fall of this year, and have us give staff a chance to review all of the proposed projects and submit them for the state and then some large market area contract. So that's the whole idea.
You know, one question I had, there's some verbiage about it being Georgetown County, you know, for the state's Georgetown County projects, and I anticipate it's conceivable that they might lump Georgetown with Williamsburg or Horry. So I just make sure we understand that it's Georgetown and a budding contract. You know, it doesn't have to be only Georgetown County.
Yes, sir, it's the market area, and this is the region, the PD region potential.
Yeah, it's just the language said Georgetown only, so to be aware of.
Yeah, it's not Georgetown only.
I failed to include on the agenda is the election of a vice chairman. The period is for 2 years. I was elected as chairman at our last meeting, and I would entertain a motion to put a name forward for vice chairman.
I'd like to, Mr. Bibb, having said no, as our senior member.
I was going to ask before.
Yeah, I understand. I'd like to nominate Mr. Jimmy Green for that position.
Jimmy, raise your hand so everybody in the congregation out here can see who you are. All right. Are there any other nominations for the position of vice chairman? Are there any other nominations for the position of vice chairman? Are there any other nominations for the position of vice chairman? Hearing none, all those in favor by the election of Jimmy Green as vice chairman indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and so ordered. Jimmy, congratulations. Yeah, the job pays good, too. All right, the new business DOT annual market area contract, is there something we need to talk about further on that?
By me.
Anything from the staff, Mr. Funny or Ms. Combs?
We don't have any comments. We're looking forward to our next meeting, hopefully in September, where we can bring forward some proposed projects for your consideration.
Have we set a date already for September?
No, sir.
Okay. Does anybody have a particular time in September they think we could meet? I'll look at my calendar, if you'll check yours too. Okay.
While you're thinking, the next meeting will be held at the,
Pardon me?
the next meeting will be held at the county courthouse back to his,
Can we meet at the courthouse next time?
yes, sir, we will meet there hopefully from there forward.
I'll dance at your promotion if you get that done.
Yes, sir.
All right, how about, is Tuesday a good day, or is there a conflict with county council, or
Council meet on the second and fourth Tuesdays.
second and fourth Tuesdays?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, how about let's go to the third Tuesday. No, that looks like,
20th.
how about the third? 14th. How about the Wednesday, the 22nd?
You said Wednesday, the 22nd?
How about the staff? Ray, are you
Yes, sir.
okay?
That's okay with our staff. I'm not sure for Timmy, but it should work for him.
Okay.
We'll talk with him tomorrow morning. If there's a problem for him, he can send his representative to the meeting.
Well, Janet, let's target Wednesday, the 22nd, and if that's not a good date with the county, let's go to the 29th,
What time are we going?
Yeah.
Time?
5 o'clock.
5. Does that 5 o'clock work, Wesley, for you?
Pardon?
Wesley, does 5 work? Yeah. Okay.
All right, we need to go ahead and, have we done anything about the vice chairman yet? Okay. Anybody have anything else for the good of the cause on the committee? Gentlemen? Being none, anybody on the staff have anything that they need to bring before the committee?
Not this time, sir. We're good.
Say it again?
Not at this time. Not at this time.
Okay. Without objection, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Motion's been
Second.
made to adjourn. Is there a second? Second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it, and we adjourn. Thank you for your attendance.